Alright, now if you've gotten this far and you've fixed up your entire scene, you got the textures, you got the transparencies working, you have a fire escape, okay, you should have a fire escape, and you should have a garbage thing back here too. Those are in the assets folder. They all need to be texturized, they all need to be put within the engine, and they all need to be put within the scene file that I have here. Okay? Make sure all your parts are lined up. There should be no physical gaps or misdoings here. Sometimes you're going to have to move them over by hand. Like that. So you know you have it right because I don't see any gaps up here. Well, when you're at this point and you have everything working correctly and you have all your names down pat, because that's another requirement that you name your stuff. So over here I have building sign. That should mean that I have building sign checked. Building top here, building window. What you call it, I don't care. But I should be able to see your IARC, go over here, highlight something, and have that highlighted based upon common knowledge. So that's what you're being graded on, your organizational factor within your project. And I should be able to also go in here and state, okay, well, what material is attached to it? Your material here is rails, okay, because they are rails, in fact. And over to your texture, I should be able to go over here and it says texture. That's bad. So you want rails. Okay, so each one of these, please name it all the way through. So here's building canopy. There's building canopy. The material has poles and fabric for the building canopy. So I can keep that, or I can go like this. Keep in mind, when I grade things, I play the stupid tourist factor. Okay, I call it. Pretend I'll erase all my memory and all my instincts when it comes to 3D, and I become a common computer user, and that person usually has to have some kind of naming convention. So I'll go over here and I'll play stupid and say building foundation. That must be this thing. And yes, it is building foundation. And wow, it looks like it has a material in here, foundation. I bet the texture is called foundation, and no, it's not. Stupid tourist factor. Alright, cool stuff. So make sure everything gets put into place. When you are done, just hit save. There is another step I'm going to show you in the next video. You can watch the video, but please don't do it unless you are really comfortable at this point about texturing, materials, paths, and where things are stored. Okay? Because I'm just going to show you a couple examples of what you need to pull in shadows into Unity. But if you screw it up at all along the path, your entire workflow, your couple textures will be ruined. Okay? So let's move on to the next video. If you have gotten this point and you've gotten everything cleaned up, you just save it, you close it, you go to the actual project folder, in this case it's Unity workflow game. I'm done with these, I can delete them. And this is your final project. In your final project, under game, should have assets. I should have a building in here. I should have my Unity project in here. I should have all my textures, all my materials located in this directory only. Very neat and clean. Okay. And when you have that, that's when you can take the entire game directory and zip it up. And that is the file that I want. Alright. If you want some bonus tip, let's just say, I'll look favorably on your disorganization or something like that if you have a build folder in here. So if you have a build folder, like you took Unity, you built it out into a folder, that's the folder that I want. I should be able to go in there and double click the HTML file and it should launch up. Again, it should look a lot like this. It'll have web player and then it'll have two files. I should be able to double click on it, it instantly launches, and I can browse your little general store. Just like that. So that's the outcome that I really want. But I'm really kind of concerned about getting textures, materials all lining up and them all being on the model, both in Unity and both in Blender. Make that happen first. Alright, so this is the assignment video. Let's move on to the extra video upon learning how to take shadows from Blender and import them into Unity.